Hi, this is Alex, and in this video I'm going to break down how to get a Vietnam visa on arrival for 3 months, as well as how you can stay in the country for a longer period of time, up to a year or more. Now, this is great if you don't want to go through the painful process of applying for a visa at the embassy, and it allows you to fly straight into the country and spend up to 3 months here, as well as the methods. I'm going to go into those of how you can stay in Vietnam if you're actually living out here and teaching English for a longer period of time. Okay, so let's crack into it. The first step is to get a 3-month single entry tourist visa approval letter. I know that's quite a mouthful, but essentially all it is a letter that you get online. You apply for it, you pay for it, you get it sent to you, you print it out, and then you fly into Vietnam with this. And essentially it's just a letter of invitation. So it allows you to fly in and then get the visa when you arrive. So this is the first step to arrive on a tourist visa. Whether you're planning to teach English here for a long time or just stay for 3 months, it's the same process. You do arrive on this tourist visa here. Now, it costs about $30 to apply for this visa approval letter. You get it, you check all your details are correct, you print it out, and then you fly in with it. And you can do this online at a website. There's a few of them that actually do these letters for you. And I will leave a link in the description below of one of the sites that I've used and referred lots of people to that have been great. And it's a very simple process of just filling in your details, and then they'll get back to you by sending you this letter. So it's simply a matter of getting this letter online for about $30, flying into Vietnam, and then at the airport you pay the remaining $40, it's around about that, to get the actual visa put into your passport. So this process sounds a little bit weird, but it's completely legit. They have their own counter at the airport specifically for everyone who arrives with these approval letters. There's lots of companies that issue them, and the one I've used has been perfectly fine. I haven't heard of any people really having issues with this route. So I think it's a great way to go about it. Now, you can get the single entry tourist visa very easily online through this route. Some people want to get a multiple entry visa, which lets you go in and out the country for that 3-month period. But the single entry visa is easier to get online. You can check out with these companies if they can get you the multiple entry one, but typically I would just recommend arriving on the 3-month single entry tourist visa. As for one-way flights into the country, for the most part I haven't heard of any issues with this. If you do get inquired about it, you can just say you're taking a bus out of the country, which is perfectly legitimate. And there's a lot of people who just fly in one way with no return tickets. So that covers your first 3 months in Vietnam. So what do you do if you want to stay longer than 3 months? Well, there are two main options. The first one is if you get a teaching job in Vietnam, it is possible for the school to sponsor you a work permit, which allows you to get a business visa. Now, this requires that you're a native English speaker from the US, UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, or Australia, as well as having that bachelor's degree in any discipline and having a TEFL certification. Now, this allows you to get a job in Vietnam where the school will sponsor you a work permit and a year-long business visa. For this route, you'll still arrive on a tourist visa like I described, and then once you've signed a contract, you've gone around to different schools, interviewed, got a job, then your school can help you process that work permit. So that's what I encourage people to do, is come over to Vietnam on a tourist visa and then interview with schools. So I set people up with interviews at some of the top schools here in Vietnam, and you do have to arrive and do those interviews in person, but after that you can get sponsored a full year-long business visa through the work permit. So there is quite a bit of paperwork involved with this process. You do need to bring a criminal background check from your home country with you, as well as a certified copy of your degree. Get that background check certified at the highest level in your country, as well as actually going through the process once you arrive here and you've got a job. So that's why not everyone does that route. It's great if you can, if you have all the documents, if you meet the requirements, and then you can get a full year-long visa. The actual business visa that you get after the work permits can range in costs, something from $300 to $600 for a year-long visa. However, often your school will help you out with that. They will either pay for it, maybe pay 50% of it. So it's a great option if you want to stay in Vietnam for a longer time. And then you get a stable job, which I highly recommend. So this route isn't available for everyone, obviously, because of the requirements, and not everyone has the documents, not everyone has a bachelor's degree, and not everyone is a native English speaker. But a lot of people do want to come live here, maybe teach English still, and just don't have those requirements to get the work permits. Well, in that case, there's definitely a way to do that, and there are lots and lots of people doing this. And that involves either just extending that 3-month visa within the country or doing a border run to a neighboring country and just repeating the process that I mentioned of getting another visa on arrival letter and then getting another 3-month visa on arrival. So with regards to extending it in the country for another 3 months, that has been an option for a long time in Vietnam. You usually just pay a fee of like $50 to $200. However, it really does vary depending on what the current law is on how possible this is to do and how much it costs. So a lot of the time people will try and extend it in the country if possible. You can go to a local visa agent to get them to do that for you. There's lots of them all over the cities in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City. So give that a shot if possible. Otherwise, there is the route of doing a border run, which essentially involves going in and then out and then back into the country. So that may seem like a really big deal, like going all the way out and back in. A lot of people just fly to Bangkok for $50 and then do the visa approval letter and then fly back in and get another 3-month visa. So the whole total cost will be, under $200 for another 3 months. And lots of people I know do this, and it's something that, there are business people, teachers, people just wanting to stay out here for longer who have to go through this route because they don't have any of the other options with the official route, which can be a long and complicated process. So it's very common for people to do this. I know lots of people that have done it multiple times. So overall, either extending it or doing a border run is a very viable option to stay in the country for a long time. Now, I can't guarantee this method will work forever, but right now this is what people are doing. It is a viable way of staying in the country for a longer period of time. If you do have your documents and you want to get a teaching job here, try go the work permit route. It's really a great way to go, but lots of people are doing the extensions and visa runs. So that's the different options for you if you want to stay longer. Follow the visa approval letter method to get your first month there. And then of course you can try to extend it or get a work permit or do a visa run. All right, that's it from me, Alex from ninjateacher.com. You can head over there to check out the full article I have on this, and also go to the link I provided to get that visa approval letter online. I've used that company a lot myself and I've referred many people to it, and it's worked perfectly. So do that. And of course, thumbs up this video to support the channel if you found this helpful. And stay tuned for more videos. Hit subscribe and I'll give you more content on living out in Asia and ways to get started teaching out here. So stay tuned and I'll speak to you very soon. Peace.